Okay guys, how's it going? Let's see. Wave to you. There you go. Okay, so I've been playing a cleric in Rift for quite a bit. Enjoy it a lot, and I always tend to gravitate towards or builds and classes that do AoEs for AoE healing, AoE damage, AoEs in general. And I really enjoy this cleric build, and I have a lot of PMs asking me what I did, so I'm gonna clearly show you sort of what's going on. The game will run a little bit slow here because I'm doing a lot of weird stuff and running a bunch of things in the background. So first, let me show you what my soul tree looks like. So 31 Kabbalist, 31 Inquisitor, and 4 Purifier, just for the wisdom. I just took enough stuff to get my key abilities that I really enjoy. I mean, this Circle of Oblivion is your main AoE here. You know, and I took everything before the Circle of Oblivion that sort of makes my AoEs better and or you know, contributes in some way. Like this gives me a little bit mana, a little bit of life, this improves Vex, whatever. Anyway, on the Kabbalist side, I really enjoy Maelstrom. That's just a super fun thing to do. And of course, Sigil of Ravaging is awesome, especially with the AoEs. When consumed, Sigil of Ravaging heals the cleric for 100% of damage done by Lurking Decay. Actually, never mind, that doesn't really stack with the AoEs. Actually, it doesn't at all. Broad Strokes increase the radius of damaging area effect spells. Explosive Energies increases damage of area effect spells. It all kind of all works together really nicely. So let's close that. This is my bar here. So you know, my two favorite, or I guess 4 or so favorite things to do is, you know, pull everybody into one spot with Maelstrom, which I have upgraded. So because of my upgrades, it reduces everybody's movement by 30% for 8 seconds, and then increases total enemies by 2. Makes it 5 total. Anyway, so it brings everybody into one spot. Well, before I would pop Fanaticism first. Pull them into one spot, AoE them with Circle of Oblivion, and just redo Oblivion. Very shortly somebody runs up to me to kick my ass. Trepidation, which is sort of like an AoE fear. And then, you know, whatever, here's my single target stuff, here's my channeled stuff. Usually I do decay, obliterate. And I'm gonna get a lot of PMs about my lack of ability to say this stuff. Dark Passage is fun from time to time, never saves me really, but it's kind of fun to do. I find that Howling Death is fantastic. Both Preservance and Reversal of Fortune, they don't seem to work all that well, as far as I can tell. Now here's my buffs on the bottom here. So I usually do Sigil of Ravaging, I do Spiritual Protection, increases resistances of everybody in my group and raid by 30, that's awesome. Armor of Treachery, armor by 215, ability damage by 3%. Dark Harbor, once again this increases resistances by 40, and I love Bloodthirsty. I don't get to use it often because I spend all my money on respecs all the time. As you can see, I only have like 2 plat at 50. But anyway, if I can, I would use this every time I PvP, because our guild, well, let me go into this now since we're on the topic. This the whole video is for the Gunbutt Guild, gunbutt.com for details. Guild rank 8 at the moment. And as you can see, we're going through another of our guild weeklies. Done with 20 wins in Codex, almost halfway with Whitefall Steps, and Black Garden was a challenge to get today. This is all today. Since we're talking about the guild, here's some people that are on right now. This is actually a slow day for us, but you can see that most of them went to get to 50. Not everybody though. Like if you look at our overall stuff, oh yeah, crap load of 50s, tons. I just got to 50 recently. Whoa. I don't know. I'm not gonna count them, but let's see. Let's do it this way. So there's 1.5 screens worth of 50s, whatever that ends up being. Anyway, bunch of 40s and up, whole bunch of high 30s, bunch of low 30s, 20s. Yeah, it's a fairly large guild. This one. Perks. This is sort of why I wanted to get into this, because we talked about Bloodthirsty, and the only reason why we have it, and I maxed it out purposely. Well, it wasn't just my decision. As with everything in Gunbutt, we discussed it in a group and decided to go for this. It's a fantastic perk that heals me for 30% of my maximum health, so a third of my life, over 6 seconds, so fairly fast, every time I kill a player. Now you can imagine that with some serious AoE, that happens quite a bit. So this is an awesome one. You know, since we're here, we also maxed out planar protection. That increases resistances by 30 for 1 hour. We got the Call of the Ascended, which is AoE res, out of all things. Fantastic thing to have. Everybody should take this. Guild Rally Banner. On this side we maxed out Fall Hunter to increase all of our favor rewards by 9%. Increased rewards gained from expert dungeons by 15%. This is a huge one. Like today, for example, we had recently, let's say half an hour ago, up until half an hour ago, we had 2 groups going together on separate expert dungeons. You can imagine overall, just this one day, let's say you had these 2 groups, each of them did 2 or 3 expert dungeons today. You know, 15% increase in rewards, huge, really big. Rift Extraction, we're gonna max this out too. Increases rewards from closing rifts. And there's other stuff in there. That's pretty much it for the guild. Gunbutt.com if you have questions about the guild. Anyway, now what I want to do is, I showed you my soul tree. I sort of went through quickly my bar here, and including the guild perk that I use quite a bit. Explained more or less how I do my rotation, if you can call it that. Obviously it's not really a rotation, because technically really what you're talking about is fanaticism and Circle of Oblivion. From time to time Maelstrom if I need to pull people together. So if it's just like 2 abilities, sometimes 3 or 4, I don't really, you know, describe it as a rotation. I'm gonna also go here and show you some screenshots. Okay, let's see. Does this work? I don't know if this works. Well, either way, we'll see if it works. This will sort of show you, you know, the potential output. I think this was for healing though, so that's not it. There you go, 441k damage in a single Port Scion, and you can see, you know, when people bunch up on the bridge, that's super easy to get. 500,000 damage done in single Port Scion, very doable, and you'll be able to achieve that fairly often, especially if you have decent gear. I'll show you my gear in a second. It's horrible. There you go. That's probably the same one, yeah. This is a lot less. It's 170k, or it's 168k. But you know, under certain circumstances, you just won't be able to get much. But you're still on the top, so you know what I mean. That's pretty good. This was on probably the same one. 297k in this one. This is only 35k, but if you look at everybody's damage overall, and this points 500 to 16, which we lost pretty badly. But anyway, what matters is that you contribute as much as possible. And if you're the top DPSer in your DPS spec, then I'd say you're doing a job. Second from the top in this one we won. 143k in this one, that's a slow one. This is only 70, but then again, if you look at overall sort of situation, I'm the biggest DPSer in the entire Warfront. This wasn't the end. I just sort of stopped to make that. There's another one. We lost it horribly, but then again, if you look at the DPS, I was the top DPS on that one as well, 70k. So there you go. That's how that works. And I just remembered I was gonna show you something. Character, my gear. There you go. So you know, I'm pulling 500,000 damage in a scenario, assuming it sort of goes my way. But even if it doesn't, I'm usually one of the top 2 contributors. And as you can see, my gear kind of sucks. Now I have this staff, Blood Grove staff, level 48, which is very cool. I'm not sure if I'll be able to ever replace it, since I don't really have time. I can't do the commitment to PvE and expert dungeons, just because we had a baby recently, so I can only I can sit down for 20 minutes or maybe half an hour once in a while. And that's perfect for Warfronts, but it's not nearly enough to do dungeons. There's a crappy green neck piece. There is a purple 50 trinket. That's from the event, first event we had, world event. That seems okay. It's not really that great, but it's okay. It will do for now, right? Very bad ring, 47. Another bad ring, 47. My helmet was made by Jamin, which is one of our outstanding guildies who really helps me out. Shoulder piece, another blue piece, yeah. Chest piece made by myself, green, level 50, yeah. Another piece by Jamin. That's the gloves, belt, crappy green belt, pants or legs rather, blue. This is one piece that I just got like 20 minutes before I started wrapping this. This is the rank 2 PvP gear. This is the chain feet piece. 23 Valor. I'm not sure what Valor does. If you know, leave me a comment on this video. I have no clue what Valor does. I'm just sort of assuming that it in general increases DPS, decreases damage, something like that, the damage done to you. You know, spell power, endurance. I don't know if I need endurance, but hey, whatever. Wisdom, intelligence, and high armor in comparison to what I had. That was a huge upgrade for me. Planar focus. I bought the Flawless Source Machine, which is awesome. Eventually I'd like to have this one, and I'll buy another one, and then I'll have essences for DPS on one and for healing on the other. So there's a crappy 48 green essence, purple 50, not bad. Spell death resist, so that's the event, another event item. The death resist is a little bit of a waste, really, when you're PvPing. I mean, I think it is. I don't think that works against anything players do. Healing spells have a chance to increase your well, even when I'm playing a DPS build like I am right now, that's obviously a total waste. There's another one about healing spells, and a very crappy one, and a pretty bad. This is not bad, considering all the other crap I have in here. So almost like everything in here is just a waste of time. 2 of them are specifically for healing. As you can tell, you know, even with this you can pull half a mil damage. Stats: spell power 761, spell crit 366, focus only 50, which is pretty bad. All my stats are very low. Spell power is fairly, it's okay, you know. It's okay for somebody with really bad gear. Skills, oh, that's my crafting stuff, so I chose Armor Smith, but I started PvPing recently, so that's all on hold. Mining and butchering, pets, currencies. I have next to no coin. Planarite, I'm slowly building up again after purchase of this flawless source machine. All the other stuff is totally on hold. Favor, PvP favor is the one thing that I'm building up right now. I want to build it up to 16k and buy another piece of rank 2 gear, purple. Plaques of achievements, I have 2, and I'll probably stay at 2 for a couple years. Artisan's Mark, 24. Not nearly as much as I would like. Lucky coins, the same. Notoriety, Mordibund. I forgot which one. There's one, Order of Mathas. If anybody knows how to up my standing with the Order of Mathos, or however you pronounce it, please leave a message for me. They have a fantastic mount that I would love to get. There's another faction somewhere. Icewatch, I believe, is another faction that has a really cool mount. Mathos, you know, mount looks like a hairless gorilla with huge tusks coming out of the sides of its head, and a big mouth with teeth. It's really cool. And Icewatch, if I'm not mistaken, this is the one, has like it looks like a mix of dinosaur and I don't know, something hairy. Very cool one as well. Rift factions, whatever. I'm decorated with Grim Disciples, whatever that means. What else? Might as well show you some other stuff here. This is all the artifacts that you collect, and I've been addicted to artifact collecting for the longest time. Not that I have too many. But I love this stuff. In a Rift, unlike in most games, you go and explore little bits and pieces of the world, and you can find some really awesome stuff. Oh, there's my critter tiers. I'm missing the deer tier. If anybody has a deer tier, you know where to send it. And you can find really cool stuff, not just these artifacts which you collect. Once you have a collection, you hand it in, and you get lucky coins which you can exchange for you know, a bunch of really cool stuff. But you can find puzzles, fantastic, excellent puzzles. I've been waiting for a game that has puzzles since DDO, I guess. AOC has some, but you know, so what if it's so fucking buggy. But everything works fantastic in here. So there's just hundreds and hundreds of artifacts to collect, and I have probably a third, maybe, of them. Maybe not. It's fun. I enjoy that. Mounts, all I have is my freaking 2-headed turtle. There's some awesome mounts, really great mounts, but I need like 180 plat to buy one, and I don't think I'll ever have that money. There's a PvP mount that I might eventually get. Books, you know what, I don't really know what the books are about, I just collected a bunch. Companions, Boggling, that's probably collectors or something. Cockatrice, I got that on purchase too. This hatchling, it's a little spider I got from the event. And a bunch of titles. The Seeker is the one see, this is kind of nice. Nobody really talks about this, but you know, they have prefix. And there you go. I forgot to move. They have prefix. And whatever you call the other part. You can put something in front of your name or or after your name in Rift, which is really nice. There you go, and that's my character right there. That's those leg pieces. It's like the first PvP gear you can get once you get to rank 2. I never really bothered to like match the colors and stuff, just because I was totally focused on making the build for